Shadow's sinister secret. You know that feeling when something is just a little off, but you can't quite put your finger on it? That's how it started for me. I was just going about my day, minding my own business, when I first noticed my shadow behaving differently. At first, it was subtle, just a slight delay in its movement or an odd angle that didn't match my body. I brushed it off as nothing, maybe a trick of the light. But then, it began to move when I was perfectly still, and I couldn't ignore it anymore. I tried to rationalize it, thinking maybe I was exhausted and seeing things. But the truth was far more terrifying. My shadow had started developing a mind of its own. It would take a step forward when I was rooted in place, or wave its hand as I sat motionless. The day it grinned at me, an impossibility, given its featureless form, I knew I was in deep trouble. I remembered an old story my grandmother used to tell about a curse that swapped a person's soul with their shadow. I always thought it was a myth, but now it seemed all too real. As the days passed, my shadow grew bolder, mimicking my gestures with eerie accuracy and even following me into places where shadows shouldn't exist, like dimly lit rooms. It was learning, adapting, and I felt my grip on reality slipping. I avoided mirrors and reflective surfaces, terrified of what I might see. I started researching frantically, diving into old books, folklore, anything that might help me understand what was happening. But the more I learned, the more hopeless it seemed. The curse couldn't just be undone, it was a binding contract between worlds. Then came the night when everything changed. I was jolted awake by a cold presence, and there it was, standing over me, my shadow fully detached and more solid than ever. It reached out, its touch freezing and suffocating, and whispered in a voice that sounded eerily like mine, "It's time for you to rest." As I felt myself slipping into unconsciousness, the last thing I saw was my body, my own face, smiling back at me with a malice I never knew I had. Now, as I linger in this half-existence, watching life continue without me, I realize that the stories were true, and the shadow had indeed taken my place.